Hello, this is Aeronautics, and today I'll be giving you an instructional video on how to land on the moon. Today's video will not cover how to do orbit around Kerbin, but to simply land on the moon successfully. So I will begin by lifting off, then I will fast forward to being in orbit. Now I'm in orbit, and as I'm not going over how to orbit Kerbin, I will give a couple recommendations, especially when going somewhere else, is to keep your orbit fairly low, but above 60,000 feet, as you do not waste much fuel and it'll be easier to get to wherever you want to go. So now, get back to going to the moon. You must first click the moon, set as target, then click on your own orbit, and then click on Add a Maneuver. These maneuvers will be able to go into your flight computer, which will then again, as you move these nodes, it will have a direction with a blue marker, which when you hover over them, when you hover over them and you go and turn up your throttle, you'll go in that direction, lowering the meters per second. Now, since I've created this node, I will have to estimate where the moon will be when I'm directly opposite to it, because that will help me go and get there quite efficiently. So I would guess, since the moon is about right here, I always guess to about where the line where it is at a tangency to Kerbin for a good estimate. Then pull the prograde node, go forward, and then as you can see, these other dotted lines have appeared. My goal for landing on the moon is just to basically go for it and get there. As you can see, I do not have any props around the moon, so I'm not orbiting it. I'd be directly crashing into it. I want to unmake my node so my process is extremely low, which will allow me to just go directly onto the moon and land. Now I will go and fast forward until I get to this maneuver. So now I'm getting close. I will have to hover my cursor over to the blue target, get that held still, then start. As you can see, my orbit is slowly changing. My emphasis is going out farther and farther, and it will eventually go out and get into this dotted line orbit if I keep my cursor on target. Okay, so as you can see, I have slightly went off of my target, and now I am not going in the direction I would like to, as my orbit is messed up. So I will try to get this down to 0. and maybe it will help. Okay, that is quite close, and I am still basically achieving my goal, which will be getting close to the moon, even though I will be directly crashing into it. Now I will go and fast forward it a bit until I get to the moon. As you can see, I've entered the moon's orbit, and I will be on a direct course from landing into the moon right there. Now, one of the key things, especially when landing on the moon, is to slow yourself down. As you can see, I am going 359 meters per second, but that will increase greatly as I get closer. So, once you get about maybe like 50,000 meters from the surface of the moon, start slowing down, as I will shortly. As you see, I've gained a significant amount of surface speed, and I will be crashing into the moon very shortly. So I will increase my throttle in the prograde area to slow down my surface, as it's the opposite of the direction I'm going into. I will slow that around down to about 100 meters per second, so I do not crash down. Okay, now I am under 100 meters per second. I will fast forward until about 20,000 feet from the ground. From the moon, to be exact. But as you see, I've gained that speed back. I will do this throttle once again, decrease that down to about 50 meters per second. Okay, so as you see, I'm falling a lot slower through the moon than I was before. So now my goal will be to keep this from getting too much speed, so I will not have the ability to slow down before impacting the moon. As you can see, I am 13,000 meters from the ground, but as the moon is not a perfectly flat ground, I am slightly below that as the ground is raised. See, I am slowly putting my throttle down. First slowing me down. Also, trying to get my approach down to the center. As you can see, my retrograde node is slowly going to the center as I'm falling straight down, which is very key, especially on landing. when landing, you need to keep the retrograde node as close to the center, because if you do not land straight, you will be slightly going to the side. When you hit the ground, you go decide to tumble. As you can see, I am now under 5,000 meters from the moon, but as I said earlier, it's not flat. I am probably about maybe 3,000. As you can see, I've also made my node in this my node being in the center of my landing to make sure I'm falling straight down. Now we'll go through when you're basic landing. When you're getting close, as in being able to see your shadow on the ground, I will deploy my landing gear, get it under 20 meters per second, and glide slowly down until it's getting quite close. Get it to 10, then lower and lower. Now to help me gauge how long it'll take me, how many meters from the ground, I will waste this fuel tank, eject it, and as it falls, it will show me how many meters I am from the ground once it lands. Okay, I'm about 400 meters from the ground. I should activate my landing gear. As you can see, my shadow's right there. Perfect timing to slow it down to about maybe 5 meters per second now, as I'm quite close. My retrograde node in the center by pushing it and by going on it and the center and bringing it back. I'm going at quite an appropriate speed for this, and I'm getting quite close to an impending landing, and I should be going at an appropriate speed. And I have crashed. Let's do it. Try again. Thank you for watching, and if you kept it in the center and you remember to keep your RCS on, you will land successfully. And it's my third time around. I will be taking it a bit slowly now, and I'll try to keep it in center. And I've touched down, and my RCS is keeping on and straight. Okay, finally landed. Now I'm on the mun. Finally. Well, as you can see, it will often take more than one try to land successfully on the mun. But as you do it more and more, you will finally land successfully, and you will be very happy, as I am. Now, I hope this video has taught you something, and good luck on landing on the mun.